This is Power Breakfast on Citizen TV. Thank you for keeping it here with us this morning. My next guest is the initiator of the Sherekia Israeli Film Festival, Yuval Or. Welcome to Power Breakfast.
Boker Tov. Good morning.
Good morning. So tell us a little bit about the film culture in Israel and why it is that you chose Kenya to be the basis of your film festival happening next week.
Well, it's pretty much good question that combines into one big thing. You know, I always dreamt about coming to Kenya. I was in my youth an Israeli champion in athletics.
Oh wow!
And it is Kip Keino.
Oh, okay.
That attracted my attention and my admiration in the 1968 Olympic Games in Mexico City. And his story, how he ran and how he won. Although I had some kidney problems, you know, always was in my mind. Now, when I became involved in filmmaking, I became to write. I was a writer, I am a writer, and a film producer and a director. I had this idea that once I go to Africa, I will come to Kenya and I'll try to do something and I'll meet my childhood hero, which I did.
Which you did.
Which I did.
Okay.
So what I wanted to do is I want to bring the two cultures together by creating a co-production here of a TV series which is called Mercenary, and part I wanted to film here in Kenya and part in Jerusalem. I'm still working on it.
Okay. All right. So the film festival happening next week. Where did the idea come from? Is it something that you've done in other countries? Or how did it come about?
Well, it's a long story, but I must admit that the initial idea was not mine. But when I was told that somebody else, a friend of mine that used to live here for many, many years and he moved back to Israel, he proposed it to me. I told him, I think it's a good idea, just give me a minute. I called the Israeli ambassador, who's a very good friend of ours, and I asked him, what do you think if we put together an Israeli film festival? And he said, it's a good idea, but I have one condition. And I said to him what the condition is, and he said, I don't want it to be geared for the Mazungos. I don't want it for the young people. I don't want it for, you know, the expats. I want it for the Kenyan people.
Yeah,
And I said to him, his name is Yael. I said to him, Yael, this is exactly what we are talking about. So with him and the team of the Israeli embassy, we've been working on this film festival for more than 6 months now. And it's going to materialize this coming Monday. And the whole idea is that, you know, exactly 50 years ago, you may not aware, or maybe you heard about it, we had an astonishing victory against three of the most, the strongest Arab countries, Jordan, Syria, and Egypt. Within 6 days, and this is why this war is called the 6 Days War, we won those three countries.
Okay.
And it lasted, I told already to some of my friends, it lasted only in 90 minutes.
Wow.
We just broke them down. Now, on the last day of the war, on the 6th day of the war, we reunited Jerusalem. And next Wednesday, on the 24th of May, next Wednesday, this is the day of the celebration of the reunification of Jerusalem that happened exactly 50 years ago.
Okay, so that's why you're celebrating.
This is why we call it Sherekia, celebration of Jerusalem.
Okay, all right, that's an interesting fact. Now tell us about some of the things that are going to be happening there. I know there are workshops and master classes and screenings, so maybe you can take us through that.
First of all, you're invited. All of you that are watching us right now are invited. We are putting together something that I think was not done here before, because it's not only just bringing the films and showing to the people in Nairobi. We wanted to create a real celebration with music, some Israeli products, and a lot of happening, master classes. We have a long list of supporters and sponsors that are running with us the shows, so to speak. So one of them is the Kenya Mass Communication Institution, and we're going to have a meeting there, a workshop there on Tuesday morning. Now, in the afternoon we'll have another workshop. On Wednesday we'll have another one, and on Thursday we are having what we call a co-production meet. Now I'll go slowly.
Okay.
We're bringing here two of the most acclaimed Israeli filmmakers, Mr. Dan Wallman and Mrs. Tova Aisher. And they are going to conduct, alongside the films of theirs, conduct those master classes and meeting the Kenyan film lovers at the School of Mass Communication and at the time of the screening. All going to happen at the Sarit Center at the Fox Theaters at the 4th floor. It's going to start every day from 6:30 until midnight. We are presenting 9 films.
All made in
all made in Israel, and since we're talking about the celebration, the Sharakia of Jerusalem, 5 out of the 9 were produced and shot in Jerusalem. So you can sit in the middle of Nairobi, and you will be able to see how Jerusalem it is. You know, I've been saying this one. Now we are watching here. You know.
Yeah, I think we're going to get that footage on.
Okay. Anyway, so you can sit the middle of Nairobi, and you will see Jerusalem the way it is now. Not the biblical Jerusalem that
there
you are.
On the screen there.
Yeah. Well, you just picked a horror film. It's called Jerusalem. It's about zombies who are taking part and they are trying to conquer Jerusalem.
Okay.
Take Jerusalem away from us. But you see, this is Jerusalem the way it is today, besides the flames. But it is that Israel is very different than the way you see it or you think about it, unless you've been there.
Right.
And we want to show the local people that we, the Israelites, share the same problems like you guys do. We have family problems, we have achievement, we have success, we are failing. So we are just the biblical Israel, and the biblical Jerusalem is something very, very unique.
Yeah.
But Israel of today, it's a very modern country.
So you're showcasing that during the festival. Yeah. Now, you said you've been working on this festival for about 6 months or so.
With the ambassador and the embassy people.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've also had interaction with local filmmakers here. What is your impression of our industry when it comes to film? Because in Africa, a lot of people think that everything is happening in Nigeria, with their Nollywood. But what has been your impression of Kenyan film?
First of all, I must tell you, and I said it probably a million times, to my mind, the Kenyan people are the nicest people in the world.
Thank
you. Your smile is something unlike I've seen, and I travel quite a bit. So, as a people, you're very wonderful people, and you have a beautiful, beautiful country. Talking to filmmakers, we all filmmakers, we like to tell stories. Okay, some are true stories, some are stories that we made up in our own minds. And I realize in this part of the world, there are so many stories to be told. So this is one of the reasons on Thursday morning we are conducting a meet. It's going to be held at the Safaricom Michael Joseph Center Thursday morning until 1 p.m. where we're going to put together with the Kenya Film Commission an attempt to create even one co-production deal, the one that I'm trying to put together and I'm still working it, maybe somebody else.
Yeah.
And Kenyan filmmakers and Israeli filmmakers will be able to create, it can be a TV series, can be a documentary, it can be a feature film, because this country has so much to tell. And forget what's happening in West Africa. The thing is here.
Here in East Africa. There's also a Smash competition that will be taking place during the festival, where filmmakers can shoot their own short films with a smartphone. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Smash stands for Smart and Short.
Okay.
With your cell phone today, you can do anything almost. Well, you cannot wash your dishes and you cannot drive your car, but basically there are a lot of things you can do with your cell phone. And the idea is to create up to 3 minutes film, all being shot and edited in your cell phone. You put it on YouTube and you send it to us, and the only requirement that we have, besides the fact that it's not more than 3 minutes, this is why it's called Smart and Short, that it will be shot here in Kenya. We are not interested about stories in Uganda, we're not interested about stories in Germany, we're interested only local stories. And we urge and we call for Kenyan filmmakers and Kenyan who just film lovers to take part in this competition. Now I would like to point out that we have quite nice group of people who are really helping us out, and we do something very unique too. There is a company which is called Direct Payment Online, that so everything goes through the the online services. So once again, I call you guys, look at our website, look at our Facebook, and you see all the information that you
maybe
need.
You can give us that website as well. What's the website? Is it sherakea.org or something?
I don't remember.
Okay, so maybe as we look that up also...
Can you take a look at this one?
All right, here, let me just see here. Yes, it's info@sherakea.org if you want to email. And the website is sherakea.org. That's the Sherakea Israeli Film Festival happening next week at the Sarit Center. So this is obviously not just for filmmakers. It's for anyone who loves film and wants to know more about Israel and see Jerusalem as it is, like you said.
Jerusalem, the Galilee, Tel Aviv, all parts of the country. Although we are concentrated on Jerusalem because of the Jerusalem celebration.
Okay, so there'll be several movies screening a day, right?
Nine films.
Okay.
Starting, as I said before, the Fox Theater, the Sarit Center. 5 out of the 9 are films that were produced and shot in Jerusalem, and you can just get the feeling of what's all about in Israel. I'm asking these questions. Many of my friends, how big do you think Israel is? And you'll be surprised if you haven't been there yet, that the size of Israel is the size of the county of Sambura.
Wow.
That's how big we are.
Wow.
Or how small we are.
How small.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So there are tickets available. There's,
everything is online.
Required. Okay.
Everything is online.
So you can go to sherakea.org to find out about ticket info. Now, is this something that you hope to do again?
This is exactly what we talk with the Israeli ambassador. We want to leave here a legacy. He's going back to Israel in 3 months' time, and every year from now on, we plan on the Jerusalem Day to make another celebration. Every time we bring new films. All of our 9 films were produced in Israel in the last 2 years, so they are not oldies. Some of them won many competitions. We screen all around the world, and we would like to make it a tradition that everybody who is a film goer and a film lover and a filmmaker will know that the Day of Jerusalem there is a celebration with films.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like it's going to be a very exciting time, and the collaboration between Israel and Kenya in film, I think, will be something quite explosive.
Well, the 2 nations, we have very strong ties, and we are here just to strengthen those ties and maybe put culture and arts into these strong emotions.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a very exciting week. Thanks for stopping by and telling us more. Again, you can go to sherakea.org if you want to find out details about the Israeli Film Festival, the first of its kind taking place here in Nairobi next week. This is Power Breakfast. We still have much more to come. My Deal With It panel is back this Friday, so we'll be joining them for some of their fiery opinions. Again, the hashtag, as always, is Power Breakfast.